Alright, so here's the build out of the ground. Sometimes it's a little easier to understand when you can fully see the whole thing. Here it is. And down in here you've got your two slide bars. Two on the left, two on the right. And that's what creates the motion to make these go back and forth. And you'll understand it once you see the build. I'm going to show you how to power this thing from outside the trap as well. And yeah, there it is. Let's go build it. So what you're going to need to start is you're going to need a 20 by 22 by 8 hole. And the 22 is going to be left to right. Okay, so we're going to start, and the door is going to open from left to right. Okay, so we're going to start. You come off of this wall here, and you're going to come off 8 blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you're going to put 2 blocks in the center. I just marked those, and you're going to go up 4, and that's where you start. Alright, and this one is 11 blocks off of that side, this one's 11 blocks off of that side. Alright, put your switch here. I'm not the fastest builder, but maybe that's a good thing. Alright, so I'm just going to move along here. We're going to start with our pulse generator here. It's not a very difficult build, but it's very clever, very cleverly done. This is one of the better, of all the builds in Minecraft that are incredible, this is definitely one of the most clever, I would feel. Alright, and both sides of this build are the same. It's very symmetrical, so what you do on the left, you'll do on the right. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to start, I'm right-handed, I guess we'll start over here. Alright, so we're going to start there, we're going to put a piston here, block on either side. We need to get a torch. Let's see, we're done with our slabs for a while. When you put your dust, come up from the bottom, otherwise it'll freak out a little bit. Put a 1 tick right there, then we're going to take and connect these. And put some dust right there. And there's one side of the first part. The other side, we're going to do the exact same thing. Alright, put a block there, down there, the torch. Alright, you can run this out. Let's put some dust here first. Alright, so you put a torch here, run these out. Actually, let's put our block here. And put our 1 tick right there. Alright, that's your first part of the build. And then we're going to come over here and do this pattern here. Connect them up. Come on this side, take your sticky piston on the side with the lever. Throw your sticky pistons, alright. Now let's do that same thing over here. Okay, and put your two pistons, and there you go. We've got two matching sides to start with. Alright, now we're going to move on. Get this done over here. Alright, now you're going to get your immovable block. I like to use lodestone, but just needs to be immovable. Alright. And you're going to put it right on the end. And then we'll just place this one. Alright, so you're going to put a 2-tick repeater there. Run your dust up. So you have that. Okay, came off of this, stepped it up, 1/2. Then you're going to take your sticky piston. You're going to put one there. And you're going to put two here. Alright, then grab your block. Now you're going to put a block on this face. But what you want to do is make sure you punch one of those out. So this block has a place to go. Alright, you're going to put one down there, directly under it. Torch it. And then step it down. And then step one up with your lodestone or whatever your block of choice is there. Immovable. Alright, and then you're going to put two pistons like that. And make sure that in behind these two pistons that you break these blocks. So this piston can fit right in there. Very important. Alright, we're going to put some slime and honey here. We'll get that in a minute. So let's come over here and get this right now. 2. Up 1 to 2. Take your non-sticky, put it right there. 2-tick. Alright, and grab your sticky pistons. One here. And one on either side. Alright, and then you're going to come over here. Don't forget to knock this out right there. You should put a block on that face. Alright, I'm going to put one under here. Put a torch on it. One low. Just like that. Alright, piston there, piston there. And don't forget to break these blocks so each of these can slide back in. Alright, now let's get our slime and honey here. Let's see, we don't need our removable anymore. And I think we're good for the observer for a little while. Alright, put your honey on the inside. Put one on the piston, one on your non-stick, and then put your slime on the outside. Do the same thing over here. Put your honey and then your slime. Now out here, slime and honey pattern. Over here, same thing. Slime and honey pattern. You'll see why later. It kind of really doesn't matter, but it works well when I do it this way. So, okay, there's our first step. Now you want to test it. So these two sets of pistons are going to retract, and these are going to actually tuck down in the cubby over there. Alright, easy enough. And there it is. Alright, moving on. Now over here, what you're going to have is 10 torches, counting this one. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. And we're going to do one extra here because there's going to be 10 torches plus the dust. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. With your dust in the middle, alright? So now here is just straight 10 torches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, same thing on this side. So we'll start and just do this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should match the other side. Alright. Over here is 10 plus the dust. Okay, grab your regular piston and you're going to put one right in front of the top of that. So if you put a block on top of that torch, it's going to be in front of that. Alright, so you want 2 pistons here and you want the same thing over here. 2 pistons here. Alright, and then you're going to run out your strip. That was kind of sloppy, but you do the same thing over here. And you're going to leave the last torch exposed. Alright. Do the same thing over here. Let's do our pistons. 2 pistons there. Alright, 2 pistons there. Run out your slide bars, keeping that last torch exposed. Alright, good. Okay, now we're going to wire these 2 in. And we can start this side. Now I do this a little different than Shadow's video, just a little less involved, that's all. And I was having trouble. This thing wasn't working for me, and I did this change and it works for me. So you're going to come here and just above this one, and on the side of this torch, and put a block. You're going to put another one, and then come up one and come over. Target this piston and this piston. Alright, and then you're going to dust there. And you want to grab the side of this torch, and then come up and you're going to grab that target, and we just put dust there, and that's it. That's how you wire the front of that. Alright, coming over here, same thing. Coming between the slide bars. Oh, we forgot our dust over here. Alright, so up on top of this dust on the side of that piston. Alright, block goes there, one there, and across. 2 targets, we might as well, since we're out here. Grab that piston. Alright, there's your wire. Same thing here, and it catches both. Alright, piece of cake. Okay, now we're going to do the other ends. Get your regular piston, we'll do this one first. Alright, put it just in front of that torch, leave that gap. And we're going to come on the outside here, or the inside, whichever you prefer to to see it, but we're going to do that. Throw us the dust and put your updating piston here. And then same thing over here. Got one to come and catch the end. Now this one here, you come on the outside, put your block here and your block here. Don't forget your dust. And your updating piston goes here. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come down to here on the side of this torch. You're going to put a block up, level with that piston. Then you're going to put a block down here. Come over here. And stick one up like that. Okay, so you got that little pocket. Okay, now what you're going to do is grab your slab, and you're going to fill in this little, you're going to put it in this little cubby here. So you're actually going to come off of that, and you can do that way. And then you want another one there, and then get a regular block and put it right there, and 2 blocks on the back wall. So then when you wire it, you zigzag it up. Alright, and then sticky piston here, sticky piston here. And there it is, that's one of your sides wired up. Alright, so we're good. Alright, let's do the other one. Alright, so we come off of this back wall. Actually, we'll do this one first, since I started this one. Come on the outside, put a block, make sure you got dust. Updating piston. And then we'll come off the back wall here. Come on the inside here. Grab that. Put some dust there and your updating piston. Alright, now we'll do our center blocks here. We're going to put one here, up high. And then you're going to grab that one. Come in the back. Okay, and again we're going to fill in this little cubby area here with our slab, so you can come off of this like this, come off the back wall, and then your dust zigzags up. And then 2 sticky pistons. Alright, and there she is, wired up. Alright, so now let's grab our slime and honey. We have our slime, let's see, we don't need a regular piston. So now over here, what you could do is the opposite of this. So start out with honey and slime and do the same thing here. Honey, slime. And now just make sure that these 3 are in line. And same thing here. Those are in line, so we're good. Alright, we have all our dust in place, so what we're going to do is test it now. So this bar here, when you first fire this, it should go twice. And the back one will go 3 times. And then when you turn the switch off, they'll both go 3 times. So check it out. And there you go. That's how it works, pretty much. So the next step is you're going to grab your sticky pistons. Now we're going to throw 8 sticky pistons right here, right over these torches. Alright. And we're going to do it here. Take a temporary block, put it right there. Then we're going to run some pistons on top. And don't forget to break this temporary block. I built this the other day and did not break that. It just messed it up. So usually any blocks that don't belong, you want to get rid of them anyway. Okay, so that's one side. And there's to lay these pistons out too. So just over the lit torches, you're going to do 8. Well, that was a mess. Alright. We're good there. And over here, don't forget to break your temporary block. Alright, so now what we're going to do is put in our top. Or just below the top, we're going to put in our slide bar. So, start with here. Grab your slide. And skip one. Alright, go to your honey. Alright, now you're going to come out this way and you're going to do 6. That's 6 altogether, counting this one. So this would be 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what I was trying to get to here. Let's get moving here. Alright. Now if you took this center line here, and it should be right next to the switch, the center between those two blocks. That should be that face, and then you know you're right. Okay, so now over here it's going to be a little easier. We're just going to run off of these. Alright, now we're going to switch over to these. Almost done here. Last one. Okay. Almost set. So now the thing I would not do is test it. Don't test it, because it'll break it. You need the top on to do it. So now what we're going to do quickly before we put the top blocks on is this. This is how you wire it here. So you can leave this switch for the inside. You could also put a switch on this face of the block. Right there if you want. Or here. But here's how I like to wire it, like this. Put a block here, a block down here, and put a 1 tick right there, and just carry this to the back wall. Step it up here, step it out, and that's it. And then when you run this, you could put a switch here or something, and it'll reach that dust. Or you could wire it elsewhere from here, but that's how you get it out of the build. And then just run your dust, and as you can see, nothing gets disturbed. Alright, so now we're going to grab the switch, and we're going to put it here. But once we put the blocks on, we've got to remember to move this forward 2. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to do it this way. You guys can do whatever you want, but what we're going to do is this. So from here, I'm going to grab that. And we're going to put one here. Grab that coordinate. Alright, and I'm going to use sandstone. Alright, so now don't forget we have to move this switch forward too. And there it is. What a great trap. Nice. Alright, now to show you what it looks like, you can also do this from inside, of course. But that has to be off so we can drop down in here. Alright, there it is. Nice. So that's Shadow's 8x8 trap. I think it's one of the best traps in Minecraft. It's very quick. It's not that complicated. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Peace out.